The Generate Schedule feature creates a schedule for users based on a series of factors, including scheduling rules, employee factors, and business factors. Your head office will set up and maintain the scheduling rules through the administration component. Scheduling rules include activity standards and zone rules. Activity standards define the activities that should be scheduled based on the number of people working the selling floor. Zone rules are generally defined by legislative standards or company standards. These would include rules which are unique by area. Examples include min-max shift length or number of shifts per week. Now let's talk about the employee factors that are used to generate a schedule. All of these factors can be found within the employee menu in scheduling. Availability. Store managers can set each employee's availability to a default setting or make adjustments to specific weeks where needed. Auto-scheduling will not schedule employees if they are not available. All active employees are displayed. Select the week you want to adjust. Choose the employee you would like to set, complete the adjustments, and select either Save as Default or Save for Week to complete the update. Qualifications are also important. We know that our employees have different skill sets and may specialize in certain selling and non-selling activities. We also know that certain activities can only be done by certain people. For each employee, scroll through the qualifications available and check off the ones that each employee can be scheduled to do. A checkmark in the qualification box means an employee can be scheduled for that activity. Select Save once completed. An employee without qualifications will not be auto-scheduled. Min-max hours defines the minimum and maximum hours that each employee will be scheduled in a week. To adjust the min-max, select Employee Records and scroll to the min hours and max hours boxes to enter the settings. This is also where you would set if an employee is a key holder. To do this, place a checkmark in the Key Staff box. The system ensures that a key holder is always scheduled. Employee performance is also considered. The system uses a 13-week trend to group employee performance when producing a schedule. Generate Schedule also considers business factors. These include business drivers such as store hours and budgets. The first business factor considered is store open hours. It is important that store hours are correct, as it ensures that your store's selling hours are accurately distributed. The next business factor, recommended coverage, is based on the specific store history of each individual store. Stores reference the recommended coverage line to create schedules. The recommended coverage feature spreads the selling hours budget across the week based on each individual's store historical traffic patterns and min-max settings that have been entered into the system. The values provided are the recommended number of people who should have scheduled on the selling floor for each half hour of the week. Recommended coverage focuses exclusively on selling coverage. From the coverage menu, select Recommended Coverage. The user will be guided through 4 steps to run recommended coverage. The first step is Verify Store Hours. By quickly reviewing the store hours, we ensure the store's operating hours are correctly set up so staff coverage is spread accurately across the week. To make adjustments, users must go to the Store Hours menu option. Next, the user will be prompted to select the History for Staff pattern. The user will have 5 options available to them: this year, last year blend, trailing weeks, previous year's same week, specific weeks, or a date-based history. These options define the curve that is used to create the recommended coverage. The This Year, Last Year blend option uses data from this year and last year for weeks that surround the week being scheduled. The Trailing Weeks option uses a preset number of trailing weeks of traffic history to generate a coverage curve. This is a great option when you want the system to take into consideration the recent traffic trends for coverage. This option is usually used for typical weeks. The previous year's same week will use all fiscal same week data available for previous years to create a recommendation. This is a quick way for users to pull all previous year data available and not have to select weeks one by one. This option is typically used for unique weeks like Black Friday. The specific option is the most common option for our users. It allows the user to select specific weeks from a list of history available. This is a great option to use because it really encourages the user to think about what weeks are most representative of the week they are creating a schedule for. The date-based option collates the data from previous years based on a date rather than a day of week. This option was built specifically for the week of Christmas, where December 22nd, 23rd, and 24th are more important than Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. On the next screen, the user will set min-max selling values as well as open-close staff values. Min-max selling values refers to selling activities only. Non-selling activities may still be scheduled for additional coverage. By setting a minimum and/or maximum selling value, the system will not recommend less or more coverage than these values. This is an important consideration because the system will use hours to meet the minimum coverage before it even looks at customer patterns. If the min is set too high, recommended coverage will produce a very flat curve that may not be representative of the customer pattern or opportunity in your store. Open staff, closed staff refers to the number of employees the system should schedule for the opening activity and closing activity. Different values can be entered for each field. Then select Finish to generate the recommended coverage. When the wizard finishes, it will display the recommended number of selling staff at the bottom of the scheduling grid on the row titled Recommended Coverage. You can pre-schedule your non-sell activities, and Generate Schedule will generate a schedule around them. You are now set to generate a schedule. Select Generate Schedule from the Schedules menu. Ideal shift length allows you to select a shift length the system should attempt to schedule where possible. If you have not pre-scheduled your non-sell hours, check off the box. This option will generate non-sell activities based on the activities and the hours set through non-sell planning. Employee min-max are used to force the system to meet min-max hours set by employee. Typically, you would want this selected. Max activities by shift allows you to restrict the system on how many activities an employee should be asked to perform in a single shift. By selecting Generate Sales Leaders, the system will be forced to schedule a sales leader activity for all open hours following segment rules. If you don't select this option, shifts may be unassigned if a sales leader was not available. Minutes before open and minutes after close allows the user to define the length of the desired open and close activity in 5-minute increments. Different values can be entered for each field. Once all decisions have been made, select the OK button to generate the schedule. You can now review the schedule and make changes where necessary. Once your changes have been made, you are ready to post your schedule. Select Post Schedule. The schedule will be posted to Employee Self-Service.